Because like, um, no, I mean in general you're right, but uh, yeah, I don't know.
So my point is, unless you're someone who's willing to get to the quote unquote end of the
But
game so you can really start to play the game and get gear and get rewards and get legendaries and all that stuff, doesn't happen until the very end of your playing experience.
well, so I think that's sort of true. So in like I think you're right that like in retail everyone starts playing again when the new expansion comes out or the new patch comes out. They're already level 60 or whatever fucking level it is. Doesn't matter. Like um, and they play all the content that they need. Like you said, that's correct. But I think in the older version of the game, that's not as true.
Well,
Um,
that's not retail though, is it?
no, not anymore. But we're talking about the progression of WoW over time, right? So you make a good point. Um, but they also made it remarkably easier to level. Um, and they made it easy.
To its detriment.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I mean,
well,
I
and that's because so
mm.
much of the content you need to be max level in order to enjoy it.
Well, yeah, I mean, but the other thing is like being max level is not like a rare thing anymore. So like like casual players are max level, you know?
Well, let me ask another basic question. How much of the amount of content in its totality, so consider like the revamping kata and the content in all of the expansions,
Yep,
how much of that does a player typically see as part of their leveling or as part of their gaming experience today overall?
like none.
Exactly. So you have gobs and gobs and gobs of content
Yep, huge
that
amounts,
have
huge
no
amounts.
meaning
Yeah.
to anyone other than this is an inconvenience that I need to play 16 hours of the game to get through so I can play the stuff that I want to play, which is this new expansion.
Yeah, I mean, there's people
Unless
who
I buy a boosting service.
yeah, I mean, there's people who not that many, but there's people who play the game to do old content and level. But that's not very common. Um, but that does exist. But yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, I mean,
I mean,
that's true.
four quests and you level. I mean, that means you're not going to be able to get through a whole lot of well,
I
none of the
agree.
stuff levels with you, right?
Yeah, well, right, exactly. But yeah, well, I'm just saying that I still think the game is more casual friendly now than before, um, because now the content, like, um, going into a normal dungeon at level 60, right? Anyone can do that. Um,
I guess I have a different understanding of casual. So, like, what to you means casual?
you don't need to put a lot of time in to enjoy the game or what it has to offer. Like, I could play LFR like once a week with a max level character that I haven't gotten any gear on past like normal dungeons. That's pretty casual, I think. Like,
Yeah, heroic to LFR.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right.
But still, heroic. I mean, the difficulty difference between normal and heroic is almost nothing.
I think it basically is nothing. It's just like up the damage and health numbers. Um, I'm just saying, like it's not as clear anymore where the casual and non-casual split is, right? Like when I played back in TBC or whatever, in Wrath a little bit when I was younger, I guess a lot of Wrath. Like I had a max level character eventually, but like I was a kid, dude. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just read fucking guides and read up on all of this shit because it sounded cool, but I never really like played enough. Or like stuck to a character because I thought all the classes were so cool. So I just wanted to play all of them. But like then I think being a casual and classic, right? You're like you don't raid, like you just run around. Maybe you're level 60, maybe not. Like I don't know, but I don't know. I think the split is less clear. Like it's easy for I think casual players can do um, a large percentage of endgame content somehow
Well,
now
I
versus before. I think casual meant like for the most part you didn't do any endgame content, um, which is fine. I mean, also like that, like you said, that the game has so much content and a lot of it's irrelevant. But like professions are content. Um, Like doing quests, mount collecting is
Professionals?
content. Like, I mean, content is a. I'm using content very broadly here, but like, it's part of the game design. Like, it's something you can do. Some people enjoy farming. Like, it's part of the game.
I guess
As I
to
level
me,
herbalism in Duratar.
Yes, exactly. So,
my understanding of casual is someone that is playing the game at a light pace. So this is someone that maybe only has a few hours of their week that they want to dedicate to the game for whatever reason.
I find that those are, I mean, those are similar definitions. They both
yeah,
mean
they're
like
similar.
somebody have like
They're
grinding the game less due to some reason.
they're different in some very key ways because a lot of what you said, Chill, was stuff that only mattered at the end. So once they're already max level, okay, now what do I get to do? But there's a whole journey to getting to that point that
But yeah,
for a casual player, from my definition, that is going to take some time to get through that before
yeah. I
they
mean,
reach that next
that'll be
level.
like 99% of their playtime probably, or 95% of their playtime would be leveling. But um, yeah, I'm just giving examples of people who are casuals that could be at max level. But like, I think casuals. I agree with you that casuals do play at a light pace. Um, I guess I didn't use time in my definition, but in general, I would say they played a light pace. I would not call someone like I don't know. Also, casual to me means like I usually associate it with different types of content, right? So like, if you mythic raid, clearly you're not a casual. If you heroic raid, you're likely I wouldn't call you a casual. If you normal raid, I don't know. Like, are you a casual? I don't fucking know. It's getting vague now. But
Right.
like LFR, if that's all you do, that's fine. You might be a casual. I don't know. You might just have only a couple hours to play, and you don't have a group to play with, and you want to do the raid, whatever. Like clearly there's no like solid line in the sand where we can say this person's casual and this person's hardcore player.
Right, it's a little
But
vague as to where that is, but what I would contend is that if you look at the amount of content that is available to any type of player,
okay,
a casual player is going to have a very small subset of those options at their disposal because of the amount of time they choose to play or the amount of skill they have in the game or the amount of time they want to invest in developing their characters or what have you.
sure.
Whereas non casual players have access to a much larger subset of the available content.
See, yeah,
Yes, there is more content that is available to casual players, but it's not just available to casual players, it's also available to non casual players. Now, they may not do that
I
because,
mean,
well, if I'm doing mythics, there's no reason why I would want to do an LFR, right?
of course. I mean, yeah. So I see what you're saying, but I think that makes sense. Like, you don't want your casual players to have access to more content than the hardcore players. The hardcore players are the people who want more content. You know what I'm saying? Like they're sated by having more content. They're not sated usually by having. They don't even never have enough content usually. But the casual player has plenty of content. Not in
I would
terms of
agree with that.
numerically, but in terms of time invested and experience. Cause like I had a fucking blast playing classic as a kid, dude. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at all. I would just run around, dude. I remember having an orc warrior in Fairless that was level 44. I logged him out one time in the end, and I never logged back in. I don't know why the fuck I did that, but I never logged back in. I thought he looked dope as fuck sitting in Fairless in the woods with his axe and shit. I didn't know what I was doing, dude. I just ran around hitting shit, and it was awesome. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think one, there's no clear delineation, but like I think the game is generally more casual friendly. Also, I would say that the percentage of players who play WoW who are casuals, like it's probably pretty high. I mean, most people don't play, every day for like maybe not though. I don't know. I don't really know. I would have to have some statistics, but I mean, like coming back, like everyone gets access to the new expansion, right? Like usually, even and also like I would also argue also when a new expansion comes out, do we get a free boost? We don't, do we? Not in retail.
I don't think so.
No, we don't get free boost. But I would still
You
argue that a
buy
lot
it.
of
I have
cat
no idea.
what?
I said
You
I have no
buy it.
idea. I've only ever played one patch of
Yeah, you
retail.
buy it. Yeah, so um I would argue that one, that yeah, clearly there's a money barrier there, like sure. But and I wouldn't say that buying a boost with money makes you a hardcore player. I wouldn't say that either. Because I would say that a lot of people who already pay the $15 a month would be happy to play a boost um, on a character to play content that they haven't played before and play through it at whatever pace they want. Um, I mean, if you've been playing WoW for a long time, you don't really need a boost usually if you're near the level that the new content is. But I don't know. I just think the game is more. I don't know actually. I don't know if I should say casual friendly. I just think that the types of content that someone I would consider a casual player has the types of content they have access to is much more numerous now than it was in the past. That's all I'm trying to say. For someone I would consider a casual player. Um, so casual player in classic TBC to me, they just fucking quest and profession. That's all I can think of. Maybe they do normal dungeons, to level, but like 3 times a week they play or something. Yeah.
Now, this is all stuff that people were talking about in like 2011.
Yeah, yeah. This is what Total Biscuit was talking about on his last Azeroth Daily before he like stopped playing the game, basically, or right when he stopped playing the game. Um,
What did he move to instead?
I think he just played a variety of games. I mean, he was already into a variety of games, but he just started doing like just a lot more random content. Like he did a bunch of podcast stuff, and he has his What the Fuck Is series, which is just game reveal or game reviews, and he has like his thoughts on shit like net neutrality. He has a fucking video about that. You know, he's just for gamer for gamers and shit. Let me see. 2011 was 10 years ago. Jesus Christ. Um,
What year did he pass?
what?
Do you know what year he passed away?
2018, I think 2019 maybe. I don't remember.
Gotcha.
Sad time, but yeah. I mean, he has tons of what the fuck is and stuff, and I loved his content as a kid, and
I just get phased from it
I love his
early.
content now probably, but sadly he's not alive. Um, but yeah. And he had this cool thing at the end of Azeroth Daily where he would read people's mail that they
Oh
sent him.
yeah.
Not like in game because his mailbox has a
Yeah.
limit, but like, on an email or something. They'd send him like WoW or just game related mails. He would read them like while standing his character near the mailbox in WoW or something.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, we could go over the reasons why, like, X expansion is good and X expansion is bad, right? Like, Shadowlands is good and bad for certain reasons. TBC is overall, I would say, a pretty strong expansion for WoW, um, historically and classic. But Wrath, I think, was probably pretty strong. There's a bunch of different reasons, but
Oh, Fizz. Did you ever see the patch that they're doing for Feral Druids?